Hello everyone. I am Soundarya from 2nd BA Defense and Strategic Studies. In this video, we are going to see about Armenia and Azerbaijan conflict. This is the map of Armenia and Azerbaijan. It is a part of Transcaucasia or South Caucasia, and the dispute region is Nagorno and Karabakh. Now let we see the conflict reasons for this conflict. The first reason for this conflict is territory. The Nagorno and Karabakh is a region that has 95% of population as ethnically Armenian and is controlled by them, but it is internationally recognized as a part of Azerbaijan. And the second reason for this conflict is religious. Because when we see the Armenia, the majority is Christians, and when we see the Azerbaijan, the majority is Muslims. So religious is also a reason for this conflict. And next reason for this conflict is the domestic politics. The leaders of both the nations have fueled the issue time and ahead for their vested political interest. Now let we see the history of the dispute. Azerbaijan and Armenian or the Soviet Socialist Republics created in 1920. In 1921, Nagorno and Karabakh autonomous region was established within the Azerbaijan by the Soviet Union, and there was a military conflict between these countries in 1992 to 1994. In 1994, Armenian troops controlled more than 90% of the territory in Nagorno and Karabakh. The Nagorno and the Karabakh are the autonomous oblast. These are the territories under the Armenian control. These territories of Nagorno and Karabakh, according to the ceasefire agreement in 1994, and the territories under the Azerbaijan control or these. In 1988, Nagorno and Karabakh legislature passed a resolution to join Armenia despite the region's legal location with Azerbaijan's borders, and in 1991 the autonomous region officially declared that it would not join either of the countries after a referendum which was boycotted by the Azerbaijan, and the war erupted between the Armenia and Azerbaijan over the region, leaving roughly tens of thousands of casualties and hundreds of thousands of refugees. Next, in 1994, Russia mediated a ceasefire which has remained in place since, and in April 2016, the region was particularly tense because of the violent fighting between the two countries, which was known as a 4-day war. Apart from this, intermittent ceasefire violations between the Azerbaijani and Armenian troops have caused hundreds of deaths in the past decade. Next, we are going to see the impact of this conflict. The first impact of this conflict is to destabilize the region, means renewed tensions threaten to originate a military conflict between the countries and destabilize the South Caucasus region. Next, the civilian casualties. In this disputed region, there are hundreds of civilian settlements, residents of which would be directly impacted and potentially displaced if any large-scale war were to break out between the two countries. And let's see the economic impact of this dispute. This could also disrupt the oil and the gas exports from this region, since Azerbaijan is a significant oil and gas exporter to Europe and Central Asia. This may even lead to higher oil prices globally. To solve this problem, other countries have also taken effort. Let us see the international involvement in this dispute. First, the Russia has a closer ties with Armenia, while Turkey and USA support for Azerbaijan, and Iran has a large Azeri minority, which could escalate a crisis and entangle actors involved. If any military escalation would draw the regional powers like Turkey and Russia more deeply into the conflict. And let us see the relationship between the Armenia and Russia, Turkey and Azerbaijan. Armenia, it is a former Soviet Socialist Republic, and Armenia gained its independence following the collapse of Soviet Union in 1991. It has been embroiled in an unpredictable conflict with Azerbaijan over the Nagorno and Karabakh region since approximately from 1988, and Russia brokered a ceasefire in 1994 for the conflict that erupted between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the Nagorno and Karabakh region. It is also engaged in a mutually defense pact with Armenia, threatening to bring Russia into the conflict with NATO member Turkey, which is currently backing Azerbaijan. Next, the Turkey, a NATO member, has given its full support and encouragement to Azerbaijan, threatens to further destabilize the region by sending fighters and supplies to Azerbaijan. By doing so, the country creates the potential for conflict with Russia that could drag other NATO members into this conflict. And Azerbaijan gained its independence in 1991 from the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Nagorno and Karabakh region is internationally recognized as Azerbaijan territory, but is 95% ethnically Armenian and is governed by Armenians. And now let us see the effect on India. India and Armenia. In recent years, India and Armenian bilateral cooperation has been seen as a rapid growth. The Vice President of India visited Armenia in 2017, and Armenia brought the India Swati military radar system in March 2020. Many Indian students study in Armenian medical universities, and recent years Armenia has witnessed an increasing flow of Indian labor migrants. For Armenia, close relations with India are vitally important as India provides a counterbalance to the rival strategic axis between Azerbaijan, Pakistan and Turkey. India and Azerbaijan. India is a part of international north and south transport corridor, a multimodal network of ship, rail and road route for moving freight between India, Iran, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Russia and Central Asia and Europe. Next, the member states. Azerbaijan is a dialogue partner of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which India is a member. In 2018, the Indian External Affairs Minister has witnessed Azerbaijan, the first ever bilateral visit of an Indian External Affairs Minister to Azerbaijan. India's ONGC Videsh is an investor in Azerbaijan oil fields and pipelines. However, Azerbaijan supports Pakistan's position on Kashmir issues. The way forward. The conflict between these two countries have reached alarming levels, and the international mediators should intervene immediately and push sides for substantive negotiation to prevent any further escalations. And the growing Pakistan, China, Turkey's influence in the South Caucasus region is a source of concern for India. It is important for it to strengthen its tie with both the countries in line, continuing its non-aligned stance and call for the peace in the region. Thank you.